I'm about to blow your mind with a question you probably never thought too deeply about. Why do we get goosebumps? Seriously, think about it for a second. You're cold, or maybe you're scared, or even experiencing something beautiful like your favorite song. Suddenly, these tiny little bumps appear on your skin. Goosebumps. But why? And why do we even still have them? Buckle up, because the answer to this seemingly simple question is a journey into the past, the present, biology, psychology, and even evolution. Let's dive in. Okay, here's a quick biology breakdown. Our skin has something called hair follicles. Surrounding each follicle is a small muscle called the erector pili. When activated, these muscles contract, pulling the hair follicles upright in the process, which forms goosebumps. But wait, why would our body bother doing this? Is it a defense mechanism? Spoiler alert. Kind of, yes. To truly understand why, though, we have to take a time machine and travel back hundreds of thousands of years to our ancestors. Picture prehistoric humans. The very lack of central heating wasn't their biggest danger. It was surviving harsh weather conditions, predators, and a fight for resources. Back then, humans, just like many other mammals, had significantly more body hair. When our ancestors felt cold, the tiny muscles around their hair follicles contracted. This action made their body hair stand up, trapping an insulating layer of air and keeping them warm, a biological heater, if you will. Today, we still have those tiny contraction reflexes, but less body hair, making goosebumps look more like an evolutionary leftover. But goosebumps aren't just about the cold. Let's switch scenarios. Imagine you're face-to-face with something terrifying, like a lion in the wild. What happens? Adrenaline floods your system. Your heart races, your muscles tense up, and yes, you get goosebumps. Your erector pili muscles activate, standing your hair on end. In animals that have lots of fur, this creates a puffed-up appearance, making them look bigger and scarier. Think of a cat arching its back and fluffing up its fur when it's in danger. This response is essentially a survival mechanism, a way of trying to scare off predators. Sadly for us, humans, with our relatively hairless bodies, it doesn't quite have the same intimidating effect. I mean, can you imagine trying to terrify a lion with your goosebumps? Yeah, good luck with that. Now, what about the goosebumps that appear when you're emotionally moved? You know, the kind you might get during a heart-wrenching movie scene, an epic guitar solo, or when you feel deeply connected to someone. Surprisingly, there's science behind that too. These goosebumps are triggered by the same fight or flight response we talked about earlier, but for a different reason. When you're listening to music that gives you chills or seeing something awe-inspiring, your body experiences a rush of dopamine, a feel-good neurotransmitter. This, in turn, sends a signal that activates your erector pili, resulting in goosebumps. It's like your body is literally showing its appreciation for something incredible. Fascinatingly enough, this same mechanism ties into our need for human connection. Emotional goosebumps are thought to be an ancient way of strengthening social bonds. Scientists believe they might be a remnant of when tightly knit social groups were key to survival. Shared feelings of awe or fear could help solidify group cohesion, making it easier to survive together. Today, we experience this when a great song gives us chills or when we feel emotionally synchronized with someone. Goosebumps connect us to our emotions and each other on a deeply biological level. But why do some people seem to get goosebumps more easily than others? Turns out, it's a combination of factors like genetics, personality, emotional sensitivity, and even how often your body triggers the fight or flight response. People who are more sensitive to dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for reward and pleasure, may be more prone to chills and goosebumps during emotional experiences. Think of it as having an extra-tuned sensory radar for beauty, fear, or awe. Goosebumps also have a curious connection to disorders and conditions. For example, their absence could indicate nerve issues, with diseases like diabetes or certain injuries, but that's a story for another day. The point is, our ability to experience goosebumps offers more than meets the eye. They're like a quirky roadmap of our nervous system. As we inch closer to understanding all the ins and outs of this tiny, strange phenomenon on our skin, scientists continue to study it with awe. From why certain songs are more likely to give us chills than others, to how a shot of adrenaline could summon the most irrational case of goosebumps, it's all part of the glorious mystery of the human body. Goosebumps might be small, but they signal something much bigger about what it means to be human, how we've evolved, how we connect, and how we respond to the world around us. So the next time you're cold, scared, or feeling simply overwhelmed by beauty, and those little bumps show up on your skin, remember? You're witnessing an age-old biological reflex that ties us to our distant past, while also linking us to one another in the present. It's not just some random quirk. It's a beautiful, connected story written in the language of our DNA. Ensure the expanded voiceover is even more entertaining, but that it maintains the same style, tone, and key points as the original.